we just got our first look at these characters in James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie. As you can see here, we got our first look at Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Isabel Merced as, I guess, the Kendra Saunders version of Hawkgirl. Um, and yeah, they're in very similar suits to Mr. Terrific. So I'm starting to think maybe this is the Justice League International because and we'll see this in a later picture, but they all have the same logo in the front and it looks like the Lord Tech logo. um yeah, so if you didn't know, Maxwell Lord, he is a villain in the comics, but before he really was a villain, he was kind of the personal liaison for the Justice League International, which I think we're going to be getting in live action before the actual Justice League, which is an interesting route to go, but I don't mind it. And here you can see it right here, the Lord Tech logo. And if you look very closely, it looks like it has a J and a L in it. So further proof that this is a version of the Justice League. So we have this picture of them all flying and then Guy and Superman talking, but this blue guy right here, everybody's wondering who this blue guy is. We were all thinking maybe it's Metamorpho and they're going to CGI him in. However, apparently this was just a stand-in to lead the actors and guide them, and this guy will be removed in post-production. Here we got another good look at Hawkgirl, and if you look closely again, that Lord Tech logo that looks like it has the J and the L in it, further proving that this is the Justice League International. Some people thinking that this is the Terrifics because they have similar suits to Mr. Terrific, but with that logo and the fact that it does have the J and the L in it, I'm pretty sure this is the Justice League, or a version of the Justice League International. Now, the reactions to these suits have been very divisive, more divisive than the Superman suit. Um, I personally, I don't mind them, but I think they should be comic accurate, and I hope they get comic accurate suits by the end of the movie, or at least the next time that we see them in this universe. Um, but I'm pretty sure if they're going for like a corporate sponsored team, that these suits kind of make sense. But here's a look at Isabel Merced as Hawkgirl without the helmet. Her helmet, by the way, I really do like the helmet. I really dig the helmet. Sure, it's not the same as Hawkman's from Black Adam, but you got to remember, different aesthetic and different universe. So for this universe, the helmet looks pretty cool. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a thumbs up. Here we have another shot of David Corenswet as Superman in the same suit that they put in that very first reveal photo, the battle damage suit. And I'll say it looks a little bit better than the first reveal photo. So I'm assuming he's gonna have a couple different suits. Battle damaged, the normal suit that we saw last Monday. And then if the Ulysses Ultraman character, if that is a clone, then he'll be in that suit as well. But yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit better standing up for sure. And we do know Superman is heading to Cincinnati later this month, and the Cincinnati Union Terminal, the inspiration for the Hall of Justice, is actually hinted in this banner. Let's take a closer look. And here you see it right there. Right here. That's the Cincinnati Union Terminal. It was actually created for the Super Friends animated TV show back in the 70s, and the Hall of Justice actually wasn't implemented into the comics until about 2006 or 2007, I believe. So yeah, that's really cool. Um, my favorite base of the Justice League, actually, it was actually hinted at in the Arrowverse at the end of the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic, or not comic book, sorry, but the crossover, and well, the Arrowverse kind of fell apart after that, so we never got to see any more of that. So this will be cool to see in live action. There was a scene filmed yesterday of Chip, the Green Lantern squirrel, or that's what everybody thinks at least. this little chipmunk, or not chipmunk, sorry. I just woke up. Squirrel, there we go. Squirrel. Uh, yeah. So why would they, unless he's saving a squirrel, but that's kind of unlikely. Why would they have a squirrel sitting there, like, in a box so it couldn't really move so he could talk to it if it wasn't Chip, the Green Lantern squirrel? James Gunn shared this. I forget which building in Cleveland, Ohio this is, but they lit it up in Superman's colors to celebrate, I guess, the movie filming there, which is really cool to see. This was actually on Tuesday, but Christopher Reeve's son, Will Reeve, was on set. He's filming a cameo as a TV reporter. I believe he's actually a TV reporter in real life, and that's really cool to see James Gunn honoring Christopher Reeve in a more respectful way. You know, The Flash had the CGI Christopher Reeve cameo, which it was cool to see, but at the same time, it was kind of like, it's you know, uncanny valley, and it was just maybe not the right way to go. But this is a much better way to go. So yeah, we will be seeing Christopher Reeve's son in the movie, which is really cool. Now we got this dude in blue. I believe this is actually Metamorpho. The other guy was just a stand-in. But this, I believe, is Metamorpho, because I believe this is outside the building that they are using for Stag Enterprises, I guess. Or it could be Superman saving a kid from an explosion or something like that because of this picture. Hang on. So yeah, at first I thought that guy was Metamorpho, but it could be a stand-in for Superman, a double, if you will, for this scene where he saves a little girl from an explosion or something crazy happening. And then, as I mentioned before, we actually got our first look at Stag Industries. This is basically where the origin story for Metamorpho could be taking place in this movie. This, in the comics, this is where he, you know, turns into, where Rex Mason turns into Metamorpho and gains his powers from Stag Industries. So we'll probably be seeing the origin story of Metamorpho in this movie. So nobody knows who this is. Some people thought it was just some random woman Superman's gonna save, while some of us, like me, thought it was our first look at Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl, but in civilian clothes. Yeah, so we don't know who it is, but Superman's gonna be saving a lot of people, that's for sure. And then here's a shot of David Cornsweet flying as Superman. I believe he does, maybe this is him getting knocked out of the sky or something, because he does look like he's getting ready to fall. So, yeah, nothing much to talk about with some of these photos, but it's just cool to see them working behind the scenes and how they're shooting things and filming things. So yeah, it's really cool to see how this stuff is done, in my opinion, at least. Finally, we got this really cool shot of David Cornsweet getting ready to fly up into the sky. We see how that's going to look. We see his facial expressions, very Superman-like, and we see him fly. Just amazing stuff to see happen in live action. That's all we got for this video. If you like what you see and you want more, hit the follow button or subscribe button depending on where you're watching this. If you're watching on YouTube, head to the description down below and follow me on all my social media links, and hit the bell to turn on your notifications. Hit the like button, comment, share, favorite, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.